bike shops are essential services and have been so important during the pandemic, as so many people have needed bikes for recreation, for health, or to get to their essential services. So we're going to talk to folks from Crimson Bikes in Cambridge, and we're going to talk to folks from Sadie's Bikes in Turner's Falls and Connecticut River Valley. So really excited to be able to talk with these folks about running a bike shop during the pandemic. I think since I see Nick, maybe I'll kick things off. Nick, do you want to introduce yourself real quick and a quick thing about your shop? And then I'm going to ask you some questions.
Yeah, sure. So Nick Perry here from Sadie's Bikes out in Turner's Falls, or we call it Great Falls sometimes. We're a brand new shop. I think we're 8 months in. Really wild time to be starting a bike shop. Really wild time to be trying to communicate with people with masks on. It's part of, I think it's our core value to be really nice to people. And I think it's something that's been well overdue in the area as far as what people expect coming into a bicycle shop, and what's going to make bicycle shops sort of survive sort of this like more internet-based world of buying and selling products. So yeah, I can leave it there. That's my quick bit.
Okay, great. And then Charles, can you introduce yourself and Crimson Bikes?
Hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight? I'm Charles. I'm one half of the ownership of Crimson Bikes. We're a bike shop out in Cambridge, Massachusetts, right outside of Harvard Square. I've been doing Crimson Bikes in various iterations since 2008. I literally started it out of my dorm room, as all kind of classic Harvard startups I think are supposed to start. You can't start a business otherwise if you don't do it that way. But Crimson Bikes, we got our start basically doing online sales. So it's really odd that kind of 2020 brought us full circle to switching back to doing that, which felt kind of both weirdly familiar yet strangely cold and distant in a way that we didn't want it to be. But it also brought some interesting changes. I won't get too far into the weeds right now, but I think there was a lot of challenges that came from both being very, very connected with people who were really demanding bicycles this year, while at the same time not being able to give them that really nice, sort of family friendly and just that customer service that we normally want to. But if you talk to any bike shop owner, especially
Uh-oh.
We might have lost. Oh no, Charles.
Oh no, did you freeze up, Charles?
This year, really, really refreshing, while at the same time, really exhausting.
Yeah, great. Thanks so much, Charles. So I'm going to ask you a question, Nick. How are bike sales in the bike boom? And I know that you have done some special stuff to make sure that bikes are accessible to folks and that everyone who needs a bike can get one. So if you could talk about that.
Yeah. Well, so because the shop's so new, I don't have numbers to relate to another year. It was like just really good luck that we opened this year and there happened to be a bike boom at the same time. Lucky in one way, which is that we were able to get on our feet and lots of people were interested in finding a shop and finding a bike, things like that. Really unlucky in another way in which, there was no parts to be had. Very, very hard to get tires, very, very hard to get derailleurs, all the really common products that we need for just a bread and butter rider, like somebody who's just riding the bike path or commuting. We just couldn't get parts like that at all. There was plenty of high-end parts, things that were way out of people's reach, but at least my sort of tactic through the year has been, so I want to mention that I only sell used bikes at the shop. I haven't been carrying new bikes. That was really helpful. I have a lot of experience selling used bikes, building used bikes. I've both volunteered at Earn a Bike, for instance, and Recycle a Bike in Providence, which are, used bike programs, mainly dealing with those things. So I believe that I had bikes when a lot of people did not, because I wasn't relying on a manufacturer to have an available stock. And also because I'm selling used bikes, I can kind of tailor, make a bike to somebody's needs. So if somebody has a certain budget, for instance, then I would just kind of hear them out and then try to work with them on that. And then also, what are they going to use the bike for, and making sure that the parts were available. And just sort of to touch back into maybe a thread that I lost there, is that one of my tactics was this year, like anytime a part became available, I just bought a lot of it. I mean, it was moments where like, I mean, I even made mistakes ordering things because I was like, oh, it's available, and that's kind of the thing I need. And then I order it and get it in and be like, no, I got the wrong thing. So, it was hectic, exciting, and we did the best we could.
Yeah, great. Thanks so much, Nick. And I'm just going to round this out with one more question to Charles. Can you speak about dealing with COVID and especially providing bikes for essential workers in the Boston area?
Yeah. So I will say COVID's been interesting for us, or challenging for us rather, because as a shop owner of any kind, but especially particularly as an essential service, you're both having to think about the safety and the protection of your employees. And I just want to make sure that I'm answering the question, dealing with COVID as what COVID is, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thinking about that type of safety has been, I think, probably one of our biggest challenges. We chose pretty early on to close because we were both managing for real safety and a feeling of safety. And with COVID, there was just so many unknowns. So, making sure that, keeping the staff safe was our top priority. Knock on wood, to this point, we haven't had anybody test positive, and that's been a really, really good thing. I think that's the one thing I'm the happiest about. But then also on the other side of it, being able a great deal of our customer base are themselves essential workers. So whether they're people who are working in the medical field, or also people who are sort of delivering goods from one place to another, to people who are just getting to their kind of regular day-to-day jobs, and they rely on that. They actually physically have to be there. Being able to be open and service for them has been probably one of the biggest things this year, just that we're proud of.
Yeah, great. Well, I know we could talk to you for a lot longer, both of you, but I just want to thank you both so much for all the work that you've done supporting folks, whether it's recreational or essential work that they're doing, to you both for being essential workers. And I see a lot of shout outs to you both for your shops in the chat. So keep up the awesome work.